You're listening to the Global Heroes podcast, The Deep Dive. We explore the stories behind the headlines of our uplifting news features. Don't forget to follow us on social and subscribe to our free newsletter for your regular boost of positivity. Today, we're looking at something we see every day, maybe take for granted sometimes. Trees. Their quiet strength, the way they just, benefit us all. What if we told you that appreciating them, really engaging with them, is actually one of the most fun and impactful ways to improve your community?
It's a great point. They're just sort of there, but they're doing so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive into National Tree Day here in Canada. It's more than just a day on the calendar, isn't it? It feels like a real movement powered by people, by communities. Our mission today is to unpack the impact, the incredible effect of these grassroots efforts. Celebrating, planting, protecting Canada's forests. We've looked at Tree Canada's reports, some studies on urban trees, stories from communities doing amazing things.
Yeah, lots of great material there.
We want to explore why trees are so vital, sure, but also how communities are making a real, measurable difference. And importantly, how you can jump in and start your own ripple effect, right where you live. Okay, let's unpack this. How can one day, really, and local action, make such a huge difference for our environment?
Well, what's fascinating here, I think, is how focusing on these, very local, tangible actions really amplifies a bigger national vision. Sustainability, well-being, all that.
Right.
National Tree Day becomes this focal point. It draws attention to something we all depend on, but maybe don't always think about daily. It turns this big, maybe overwhelming idea of helping the environment into something, achievable, personal, right in your neighborhood.
That idea, moving from abstract to actionable, that feels really key.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. National Tree Day, what exactly is it?
Okay, so at its core, it's an annual event, happens every September. It's actually part of the larger National Forest Week in Canada.
Okay.
And for 2025, the specific day is September 24th. But the main week for activities is September 21st to the 28th. Its purpose is kind of twofold and pretty powerful. One, it's like a nationwide invitation, get involved in climate action. And two, just as important, it aims to inspire a new generation of environmental caretakers. Tree Canada, they're behind it, and they're actually celebrating 14 years of doing this. They really emphasize that the biggest impact often starts close to home, grassroots stuff.
Close to home. I like that. It makes it feel much more doable, doesn't it, than some big policy thing?
Exactly.
But let's dig into the so what a bit more. Why are trees so essential? I mean, we know they look nice, but what are the deeper benefits maybe people aren't always thinking about?
Right. It goes way beyond just looking nice. They are, fundamental to life. We know they purify air, pulling out pollutants. A single mature tree can soak up, 48 pounds of CO2 a year?
Wow.
But think about cities. They fight that urban heat island effect, where cities get way hotter than the areas around them.
Yeah, definitely feel that in the summer.
Trees tackle that in two ways. Direct shade, obviously, that can cool surfaces by a huge amount, like 20 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit.
That much?
Yeah. And also through evapotranspiration, it's basically the tree sweating, releasing water vapor that cools the air around it. It's
Wow.
not just about comfort. It cuts down air conditioning use, saves energy, can even save lives during heat waves.
That sweating process, evapotranspiration, that's really interesting. It's more than just shade. Any other maybe surprising benefits?
Oh, definitely. Stormwater management is a big one. A mature tree can intercept and hold thousands of gallons of rainwater each year.
Thousands, really.
Yeah, it takes pressure off city drains, reduces flooding risk, and helps filter pollutants out of the water before it hits rivers and lakes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then there's biodiversity, providing homes for everything from tiny fungi in the soil to birds and insects in the branches. And, we shouldn't forget the psychological side.
That's it.
Well, studies consistently show that just having access to green spaces, like the ones these tree plantings create, it reduces stress, boosts mental well-being, and can even, strengthen social bonds in a neighborhood. These aren't just nice side effects, they're vital for healthy, resilient communities.
It really sounds like the biggest impact, the real waves, are coming from local groups then, right?
Yeah.
People on the ground. That's the part that really grabs me, that community power.
Precisely, yeah. Tree Canada organizes the big events, and those are important for, visibility and getting people excited. But the lasting impact, the widespread effect, that really comes from the smaller community-led stuff. They're basically the engine driving the whole movement's success. All across Canada, you see people setting up their own things in schoolyards, parks, community gardens, even just along their street.
Right.
These local events are the driving force. They create this sense of ownership, you know? People feel like they're directly contributing,
Uh-huh.
and they can tailor it to what their area needs. Maybe it's tackling soil compaction. Maybe it's choosing specific native trees that'll thrive right there.
And when you get involved locally, you're not just planting a tree, are you? You're actually improving your immediate surroundings. But how does that connect to the bigger ripple effect idea?
That's a really good question. So yeah, you organize a planting or even just a cleanup around green spaces, and you directly make your neighborhood greener, healthier, more resilient. That's the immediate bit.
Okay.
But the Whipple effect is where it gets really interesting. When people see positive action happening, it tends to spark more action. It's contagious in a good way.
Like inspiration.
Exactly. One tree planted might lead to a whole street getting transformed, or maybe a neighborhood group gets inspired to take over a neglected patch of land. We've seen cases where successful plantings lead to other benefits too, like higher property values nearby, or lower energy bills because of the cooling effect. Your actions genuinely inspire others. It multiplies the impact, not just with more trees, but also by building that community connection, that social capital, and connecting this to the bigger picture. It's just a powerful example of how local effort creates, well, systemic change from the ground up. It builds resilience right where people live, empowering them to tackle these broader environmental challenges together. It shows that, major change doesn't always have to come from the top. Often it really bubbles up from communities themselves. We've even seen local data on trees influence city funding decisions.
Local action influencing policy.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Okay, so if someone listening is thinking, all right, I'm in, this sounds great, but how do I start? Does Tree Canada make it easy? Especially if you've never organized anything like this.
They really do try to make it accessible. They offer free toolkits you can download right from their website.
Toolkits, what's in them?
Oh, loads of stuff. Resources, activity ideas for different groups like schools or community centers, step-by-step tips for planning an event, big or small. Covers things like picking a spot, choosing the right trees, getting volunteers, safety stuff. They've really thought about how to empower pretty much anyone to give it a go.
That sounds genuinely helpful. And I heard something about a contest, a little extra motivation perhaps.
Yeah, that's right. There's a pretty cool incentive. If you plan your event, register it officially, and hold it during that main week, September 21st to 28th, 2025, your community could actually win a free Tree Canada planting event for the next year, 2026.
Oh, wow. So your effort this year could literally lead to even more trees next year.
Exactly. It's a great way to kind of double down on the greening effort.
That's a fantastic motivator. Okay, let's talk about some success stories. What kind of actual impact are we seeing from these community efforts?
The numbers are pretty encouraging. Just last year, over 2,300 volunteers got involved at 21 Tree Canada events across the country.
2,300 people.
Yeah. And together they planted more than 8,770 trees and shrubs. That's like creating several acres of new urban forest. It's a huge step for city environments and community health. Real, tangible benefits.
Those numbers really do paint a picture. Any specific examples that stand out, maybe show a unique community angle?
Absolutely. Take Les Amis du Bois Nielsen in Quebec City. They won the National Tree Day contest in 2024.
Okay, what did they do?
Their event was amazing. They planted 55 native trees, which is great, but they also did a free tree giveaway for residents and brought together about 125 people for a whole day of art, nature, connection. It was more than just planting.
That sounds lovely.
And what's really inspiring is their long-term goal. They're actually working towards getting a national park established right there in the city to protect this green space for the future. Talk about legacy.
Wow, that's incredibly ambitious. Protecting urban green space is so vital. Any other stories, maybe involving different groups?
Sure. Canadore College up in North Bay, Ontario, back in 2023. They got students, staff, community members all together planted 100 native trees on campus.
Nice college initiative.
Right. And then because they won the contest, they got a bonus planting event. And this is where that ripple effect really shows. They partnered with a local children's center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, college students and little kids planting 28 maple trees together. It's a perfect example of connecting education and sustainability early on, getting the youngest community members involved, hands-on.
That's brilliant. Instilling that care early. Are there bigger partnerships too, like corporate ones?
Yes. Definitely. The partnership between BMO and Tree Canada is a really strong example. They're in their 4th year now, working together to boost green infrastructure across Canada.
Out of the year, wow.
Yeah, and since 2022, their joint projects have mobilized almost 5,000 volunteers
5,000.
who've planted over 19,000 trees and shrubs. So it's not just about funding, it's about mobilizing their employee network, too. Creates really lasting benefits nationwide. Shows what happens when different sectors align.
It's so clear these events are about more than just the number of trees, isn't it? It's the connection, the joy of doing something good together. Robert Henri from Tree Canada, he's director of communications. He put it perfectly. He said, National Tree Day is an opportunity to meet inspiring people who want to make a difference while having fun. For me, it's the best day of the year.
That's a great quote.
It really sums it up. So what does this all mean? It's more than trees, it's community, connection, making that difference together.
Right. And that quote makes you think, doesn't it? Beyond the crucial environmental stuff, what's the value of these events just for like community spirit, for well-being, for having a shared purpose? It taps into that basic human need to connect, to contribute, to see the results of your work. These events seem like powerful ways to build stronger, more engaged communities, which feels pretty important these days.
Absolutely. And, well, that brings us towards the end of our deep dive today. We've really seen the incredible impact of community action, especially through things like National Tree Day. It's just so clear that every small local effort adds up to this huge positive ripple effect across the country, changing landscapes, changing communities.
It really is. And it shows how accessible environmental action can be and how rewarding. You get to see the benefits right there, which builds pride and responsibility.
So we really encourage you listening right now, think about how you could start your own ripple effect. Maybe it's National Tree Day next year. Maybe it's something else local. What's one step you could take close to home? And maybe the thought to leave you with is this. How can we use that simple act, planting a tree, cleaning up a street? How can we use that to grow deeper connections in our own communities, not just on one day, but all year round?
That's a great question to ponder.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the amazing world of community tree action. We're really glad you're here, diving deep with us. Keep an eye out for Global Heroes on social media. We really appreciate you tuning in.